Hey everyone, welcome to my guide for I, the 21st character. I is another MP hybrid with a special class called Overseer that is unlockable at level 60. She is a close range melee character with lots of variety in her combos. Most of her skills are also close range with a few AoE abilities, and she can unlock upgrades for her skills later on. Unlocking I's classes gives these bonus stats in the hero collection. 4 new achievement missions were also added with the following rewards, and completing her Chase Cordy sets gives these bonus stats. Now let's talk about I's skill tree. For the sake of time, I'll mostly talk about the skills I use and why. So let's start with the active skills. I's active skills extend her combos by giving her an upper attack, a quick descent, an evade, and an evade attack. But the best part of her combo is unlocked starting with Activate Summon Object. Right away, you can use the Breaching effect, which stabs forward by pressing Z while in standby stance. Next, you unlock Install Cutter, which launches enemies by pressing up during standby stance. And finally, you unlock Setup, which allows you to move in either direction, leaving behind a small orb that deals damage over time. This is my favorite of the Activate Summon Object abilities because it allows you to continuously dance around enemies if you can time it correctly. As you level up, you will also unlock more ways to activate Standby Stance by pressing Z after Rising Jab, Z after a dash attack, and ZZ while evading. I also unlocks stat boosts at level 20 and level 40. Next, let's look at I's passive skills. First job passives reduce skill cooldown when counterattacked, help HP recovery, and improve her acceleration. I prefer using Wound Recovery Device since it recovers HP more quickly, and I can wait out its effect by using skills or evading with combos. I like Enhanced Accelerate System since it makes her run faster, and I don't really notice a difference with the dash passive. I's special class passives unlock the Type 2 upgrades on the Shared Skill tab and boost damage to her commands or skill damage. Since I like to spam skills, I equip Skill Activate module here. Finally, let's discuss I's shared skills. At level 1, you start out with Stylish Attack, Divine Impact, and Divine Tempest. I like Stylish Attack to start off with since it has a long animation that can save you from damage, but I usually prefer her other 1-bar skills. Both Brandish abilities are useful for knocking enemies into the air with a more powerful hit, and you can combo with other skills to do massive aerial damage. Flare is my favorite 1-bar skill because of its flexibility. Flare Type 1 does damage on both sides of I, which helps stagger smaller enemies that surround you. And Type 2 is a dash attack that passes through enemies, which is great for getting behind mobs or for running away. With Forced Crash, I prefer Type 2 because it removes the delay, but both types knock smaller enemies down and have a decent vertical reach. When it comes to 2-bar skills, I like to use everything based on the situation. If I want a strong one-hit attack with a decent horizontal AoE, I go with Divine Impact. Brilliant Dash is great for closing distances, and the explosion does great damage. If I'm dealing with lots of mobs in a dungeon, I like using Electronic Pulse. Both types pull enemies closer to the center, so it is a great skill for crowd control. When I'm dealing with difficult bosses, I like to bring Chain Blast Type 2 since this skill has a 5% defense debuff. In terms of 3-bar skills, I rarely use Divine Tempest. It's similar to Ronin's Tempest Blade because you can control I's horizontal movement, but I prefer the AoE of Shock Detonation and Orbital Strike. I always use Shock Detonation Type 2 for the DOT and Orbital Strike Type 2 since it hits a lot faster and I only need to position the explosions once. Also, both of these skills work great after a knockup. As always, you should unlock I's ultimate skill, Local Devastation. This skill pulls enemies into the center before blasting them with a laser that has amazing vertical reach. Just keep in mind, enemies below this skill will not take damage. I ended up liking I a lot more than I thought I would, and I think she's a great addition to the character roster, and I'll definitely be using her to do dailies. Thank you so much for watching, and please comment below if you have any other tips that I may have missed. Bye!